Good morning. After a few days off, we're back to analyzing some hands. So we have Jack Queen, early position. We decide to open. We get two callers. Cut off in the big blind. I'm going to say big blind is probably going to be the widest here. Two bets to call. I think a lot of players will end up calling them. My early position range looks something like this. I put this guy at a range that's almost at 20%. But we don't have huge amount of information on him. He's playing about 24% of hands right now. It's 23 early, 33, right, 31. But then you have 14 and 19 and 13. I think someplace in the middle is probably where they play. Just happens that they had some hands over the last 100 hands or so in these positions where they decided to play, but they did not have them when they were the cutoff or in the blinds. Or it could just be the dynamic of the table that they were at, where whenever they were in the cutoff, they were always up against like a raise and a 3-bet, or an open and a 3-bet. So 3-bet range is 0. He hasn't 3-bet. So at this point, I'm going to just go ahead and give him a range something like that and take out queens plus ace king. It is conceivable that he did not get a 3-betting hand. So we're going to say we're going to give him some credit here for actually raising queens plus ace king. So this is 20%. We'll go ahead with it. The blind, we're going a lot larger. Actually worked it at about 50%. I think that's probably going to be close. Just he's playing 30% from big blind. He calls 48%, so 10 out of 21. I think he's going to be much looser out of that big blind than anything. 3-bet is 5%. So when I look at this hand, I have a bunch of call 2-bets from blind range, and it has kings in there. So I'm going to say 50% of the time he'll raise queens plus ace king. So at least he still has the possibility of limping it. And then he has like his offsuit connectors and offsuit 1-gappers. So I make sure I have those. And he also needs suited king, or the offsuit kings, because he's played king 4. So in order to include all those, we had all of these. He does have 8-4. I mean, that was in his range, but I think once we start adding all of those, it starts getting a little too wide. But maybe something like that. Let's take out these lowest cards and get us back down 55. That'll be good. All right, so ranges are set. Flop comes out, king, jack, 6. So we flop middle pair with a backdoor flush and backdoor straight. Oops. King, jack, 6. So jack, 6 of hearts, king of diamonds. He's going to check to us, so now it's on us. So I don't think that means anything. He does donk here. He has donked one time. I don't think this is necessarily a board to see a donk bet here. So it's on us. What do we do? Looking at our flush draw open enders. And if we include our gut shots too, that gives us 28.9. So our 2-card gut shots would be like ace queen, ace 10, 10-9. I think 10-9 is going to be okay because we're drawn to the low end, but somebody would have to have ace 10 to beat us. So I think that's appropriate. So that's at 28.9%. So that means we need about 15% for a pre-flop raise. And I think with our pre-flop raise, we're looking at probably sets 2-pair, I think over pair. A top pair is going to give us too much, but if we do, we're going to have to find, if we do decide to bet with our top pair, then we're going to have to find a lot more hands to bluff, and I think that's probably going to be the case. Both of these players have a wider range than us. This guy is going to be a little bit wider, not a whole lot, but this guy's going to have a lot of different hands. I think what we want to try to do is bet to try to get heads up against one of them. We're not going to be scared if the heart comes. So I think when we look at maybe some of these bottom pairs, sevens and eights, that could be decent bet here. I think, let's see here, 2-card order. These don't add much. Like the diamonds, any of the diamonds could be appropriate. That's probably it. It's at 88%. It just seems high. Maybe that is the play. So we are betting most everything here, any sort of pair plus some of our draws. I think that could be our play. And I think it was because they are ranges are a little bit wider than us. But I chose not to. So I think if I chose not to, we're taking out those. I still think our gut shots and our flush draw should be played as bluffs. So that means we're probably taking out a hand like those, like ace king, and then we're probably taking out this overpair, only partially betting it. Like sometimes we're betting with the aces, sometimes we're not. And maybe even the set. Maybe I still think the bet. I mean, if we keep the set as a check, then we're doing it as a check raise. So let's get these hands that we're playing. I think there's value in betting king, queen, king 10, king 9. I think there's some value there. Especially if we get some folds. So let's get these out of here. Turn back. We've got those. And have those. And then we're going to X these out. So we're going to say this is our betting range. So we went back to the original one, which was the original C betting plan, which would have C bet about 50%, 45% or so, 45. So we're going to do that. We see it, we checked. And then this guy checks behind. How is he? He seems like he would bet, so I'm going to eliminate like the set and the 2 pair. I think he probably would have bet those. I'm going to take out king queen and leave like king 10, king 9 in there as a check. I think his flush draw, I would like to think people are betting flush draws and probably open enders as well. So we're just going to X those. And then the first guy, we don't know anything yet. So 2 diamonds comes up. That actually improves our hand now. Villain 7 checks. So we now went check, check. I think the sets would have definitely bet here, and 2 pair probably would have bet. So we're going to eliminate that. And that gives everything else in his range at this point. It's on us. We already checked once. Now we've got like middle pair with a diamond draw. I do think this could be a bet here. We're going to get hearts to call, and I think we could be justified betting again any club, any spade, any diamond. So even if we miss, other than the heart, I don't think betting a heart would be that great. But I think if we miss the diamonds, I think we could justify in betting. Possibly on the river. We'd have to think about what are we portraying here. So I think now we bet our overpair. I think we bet our 2 pair here. I think we've got our flush draw here. It's 12.8. And then maybe like a 7 just to balance. %. Let's see, did I bet it? No, I checked. Which I think we're missing at this point, I think we're missing on some value. Yeah, the king could be out there, but we still have second pair and we've got to draw. I think we are at the mistake range now. We should be betting more. We're going to get rid of those. Get rid of these. All right, so that's our checking range here at this point. And now this villain bets, and at this point, everyone showed some weakness. So I think he's going at Seth's going to be betting. He should be betting. Top pairs probably betting. I'm going to say maybe middle pairs betting at this point. Maybe some of these pairs are betting. We'll include the flush draw for balance, something like that. This villain calls. Would he raise at any point? I don't think so. So we're going to give him, I think he's going to be heavy on the draws. So we're going to give him middle pair plus top pair, and then we're going to give him flush draws here. Checked it, I forgot. Was he at that top pair? We're going to leave those king nines. All right. So he bet. Now it's on me. We check. What are we calling? Really, I don't think we should be calling any of these. Maybe in the middle pair if we think he's calling. So queens in the middle pair. I don't think we're calling with the sevens anymore. So those are basically, we're calling to see what happens, and then we're going to probably have to check those too, and hope for a check down. I don't think we're going to be betting for value at all. So the 4 of hearts gets there. So the hearts gets there. Villain 7 checks. I'm going to eliminate the flush at this point. I don't think he has it. I think he would be betting. I think there is a chance that you have 2 pair plus. So all of those on us, we should be checking everything. And then villain 4 checks. And when villain 4 checks, I think he could have all of these hands here. So at this point, we just kind of go through what I think everyone could have in their range at this point. This guy might have the strongest range because he has those top pair hands. So we show hands. He shows ace 10. I mean, that was a gut shot that he was betting on. And I don't have that in his range. I didn't expect him to bet the turn with that. I guess he did bet fairly small, like a quarter of a pot. So pretty weak. But we will get this called. So he calls EP2, 3 big blinds, RFI, and cutoff with ace of clubs, 10 of hearts. And then he's in position, check, bet, we'll say 25%. And then he checks behind on a king of diamonds, jack of hearts, 6 of hearts, 2 of diamonds, and then the river was a 4 of hearts. Okay, so we have him, and then we're going to take this guy down too, and then we're going to talk about my play, because I don't really like how I played this hand at all. So overcall, B2, 3 big blind, under the gun, and big blind with jack of spades, 9 of clubs. He is out of position, check, call, a 5%, and then check down. Alright, so I think we missed the bet on the flop. I think we should be betting c-bet. I think that probably would have gotten ace 10 to fold, and even if he doesn't fold, I think he is probably going to fold to the turn bet, because the turn it improves us again, and I think we go ahead and lead again. If both of them call, I think we have to give people. I think we have to give them credit for some sort of draw at that point. So once they call the flop, actually the turn. If they call the turn, we're going to give them credit for the draw. I think on the river we're going to probably have to check it and assume that they've connected. So I don't like how I played. I think I lost some value. I think I lost the opportunity to win by being aggressive and just managed to hold out because the player had Jack 9. So we're going to go back to the turn where this guy bet. We said we just kind of gave him pair plus. He also had the gut shots too. So if we give him the gut shots, that opens up his ranges. And then when we get to the 4 of hearts, it goes check, check. I don't think he was going to have the set. I think, no, he can have the sets. So it just kind of changes, just makes his hand weaker. So hopefully you enjoyed the hand. I messed this one up. Should be aggressive, but I still won it. All right, so you can look tomorrow for another one.